Hello everyone, hope you're having a good weekend. I went out this morning to a book sale, a library book sale, and came home with very few books. A few things, not a whole lot, but a huge stack of video games, as you saw probably going to be in the cover whenever I make that. I'm assuming I'll be holding up those games, because it's not what I expected at all. This was a kind of local library, like half hour from me or so, 40 minutes depending, whatever, and big, but not anywhere near the scale of the big annual book sale or anything like that, like a single library book sale. And the area they had it in was a very small facility that there's no way the room was bigger than like 20 by 40. Like, that's pushing it. I don't even think it was that big. And that's not a big space when you have huge tables of books and at least 40, 50 people. When I was there, I was in there for about an hour, at least that many people. So not big enough. I was expecting to go in, leave with a bag full of maybe a handful of kids' books, the usual kind of things that we find in bulk up and sell in lots, maybe a couple of books for us, a few adult books for like Pengo or whatever. And I didn't find a whole lot of that, but I'm going to go back because not just because of the awesome stuff I found today, completely unexpected from a library book sale, but because the space was so small, they had nowhere near everything out. There were banana boxes full of books in a room like to the side, which is kind of an entryway outside of this. It was in a dining hall for a center attached to a church or something like that. And there were workers working and unloading. They had at least 30 or 40 more banana boxes full of books in the adjacent room that they just had no room for, because this was packed full. The tops of the handful of tables that were there, I'm trying to think, there are maybe 12 tables, and like dining room table size tables completely packed on top, and then banana boxes underneath. I mean, there was not even floor space to put those other books and things. They had whatever was in the other room, and people, you could not move. It was very claustrophobic. It was hard to get around and find things. Thankfully, I was like the second person there, so I got in and was able to kind of, usually it works almost every time I go to these sales. I go to the way back and work my way forward. Typically, that always works best. And that's what I did, and got a ton of video games. I couldn't believe there were other video games there that were completely destroyed. I mean, the library book sale, some of these have been rented out to 500 people over the years, and I've been annihilated and didn't touch any of those. But I found a huge stack of video games. A couple of them are going to need new cases. We have a bunch of extra cases. We have a box upstairs that we find, empty cases for different variety of things. We keep them just for this reason. And anyway, I started going through these. The video games were only $2 a piece, and then the books were anywhere from 50 cents to $1, and a couple of DVDs and Blu-rays that were $1 each. So for $2 a piece, this is what I got for the video games. We have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch on PS3, a bunch of PS3 games first, and most of them, this one doesn't, but a lot of them have their manuals, if they have a manual. I mean, getting into the era, there's the inside artwork of where they do not have manuals, some of them, but some of them do. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix, Bioshock 2, Brutal Legend, I think my brother played that on 360, Overlord Raising Hell, I think, is that the second Overlord game? I forget how many of those there are. The Ico and Shadow of the Colossus HD collection for PS3, Day 1 edition of Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. This was either a launch or like really early game. I remember seeing this in stores around the time PS3 came out. Never played it. Always looked interesting. But Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. Look at that. All of those. Then a couple Wii U games. This one definitely is going to need another case. But we have Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, Sochi 2014. Nintendo Land. And Scribblenauts Unmasked, the DC Comics adventure. This is really cool. This one definitely needs a new case. I wish this one was a little better shape in the cover, but the disc is like perfectly fine. Case definitely needs a new one. But Fortune Street for the Nintendo Wii. This actually goes for a decent amount now. That's gone up in value. So I spent $2 on that. And again, disc is perfect. Put it in a new case. A couple little like scratches and things on the cover, but it's not bad for $2. It's crazy. Naruto Shippuden Clash of the Ninja 3 Revolution. It's one of those Naruto fighting games for the Wii. I think this is one of the fighting games. The Wii, Sonic and the Secret Rings. And I mean, just look at that for $2. Great condition. Disc is perfectly fine. Has the manual. The disc doesn't even have a like library label on it or a manual or anything. I mean, a couple of these are in buy from nice store condition. I mean, every one of these is better than you find in GameStop half the time, condition-wise. Rayman, Raving Rabbids, I think this is the first one of those, all the mini games for the Wii. And then for the 360, probably the most beat up of the cases, but the cover on it's fine underneath it. It's just on the plastic itself, not on the actual cover, which is nice. But Tales of Vesperia for 360, one of my favorite 360 games, one of my favorite Tales games. Great game. All those, $2 a piece. And I want to go back. I don't think I mentioned the price for when I want to go back, because it's over the weekend. I'm not going to go back again today or tomorrow, even because there's a lot of stuff still to come out. There might even be more games. Who the heck knows what's in that other room? There were so many, hundreds of items that have not been put out. Wait for them to kind of clear out a lot of it this weekend, because on Tuesday they have plastic bags they have there. And you can go in and it's fill a bag for $5 on Tuesday. So, I mean, most of the good stuff's going to be gone, but there's going to be, how crammed and everything is, there's going to be good stuff still left on Tuesday. Like hidden in there, things that don't get put out until like Sunday or Monday. Sunday, it's not even the full day because it's attached to like a church facility. I think they're only open for a few hours on Sunday. So today, I think is the only full day between now and Tuesday. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff left. So Tuesday, I'm going first thing in the morning. I'm going to be there early and like one of the first people in line. And they have $5 for a full bag. Search whatever's left. That I think there's going to be another video. There's got to be good stuff left for that. Then Blu-ray and DVD, found some stuff in there too, because all the video games are just mixed in with all the DVDs and Blu-rays and that kind of stuff, and a lot of those were annihilated. A lot of the DVDs and Blu-rays and a lot of the DVDs, if it even had a cover, it was completely plastered with stickers and things from the library, and there were, $1 to $2 DVDs that were worth like $2 to $3. So it didn't pick up any of those, but when you get to the fill a bag for $5 and you can fit like 20 or 30 in one of those bags, that's gonna be worth it. So we're gonna see what happens on Tuesday. Hopefully there's good stuff left. But Blu-ray and DVDs, found a couple that were in pristine condition. Blu-ray DVD combo of Disney Parks, Where Dreams Come True, The Secret Stories and Magic Behind the Scenes, and it's a collection of like behind the scenes and documentaries and stuff about Disney parks. It's almost 3 hours long of a collection of stuff. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. This is like the kind of thing that would be playing in the kitchen at my in-laws all day long. Then we have, this is cool. This one is actually going to be for us. I'm very excited. This is on our list to get. We have these on DVD. I've been looking for the Blu-ray DVD combo collection. I've not run into it until now. Perfect condition. 35th anniversary edition of The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. Down Under? Okay. Decent movie. First Rescuers is amazing. It's one of my favorites, one of Amanda's favorites. Pristine. That one's for us. That's going to be awesome. On that, South Park Imagination Land. I think it's had like a slipcover or something, but this, I believe, is all of the parts of Imagination Land edited together in the form of a movie. I think they did that for the individual DVD release. I have to look at what it is, but pretty sure it's what it is, because South Park, they only made the one theatrical movie, but they kind of made other South Park movies within the context of the show, and this is the real big one. And a few volumes of, like random volumes of Farscape, and this is the first release that they had. There were a couple different ones. They had these, I think it was 5 of this size volume would make a season, and then they had the box sets, the smaller DVD releases, and then further ones in like Starburst collection, whatever. But these are kind of cool. So these will be up for the store, except for this one. This one I want with Chiana. Collection 5 for Season 3, so the end of Season 3. And then it is Season 4, Collection 2, and then Season 3, Collection 2. So, a few random Farscape collections, but pristine. All those. Now, for the tiny little thing of books that I got at the book sale. I don't know. The books, they're really, it was a lot of Harlequin romance, a lot of Amish and Mennonite and religious books, and nothing really too spectacular. Nothing that shouted like this is gonna do well, out on the store kind of thing. Not especially for the price that they were charging, like the adult books. I mean, it was like $1, whatever, but still, I'm kind of holding out on those kind of things, knowing that Tuesday there's still going to be probably a lot of stuff there. Going to be a better deal to do the fill a bag kind of thing. So, waited on a couple of those and tried to focus on a lot of the kids' books and sci-fi and that kind of stuff. And those were a little more disappointing. Again, you never know. There might be a whole banana box full of like R.L. Stine stuff back there that hasn't been put out yet. So definitely worth checking back. Sweet Valley High, number 111. A Deadly Christmas, a Choose Your Own Adventure that I've not seen. It's too bad it's one of the newer covers. The Lost Jewel of Naboth, one of the newer ones. A few Magic Treehouse, a lot of these are the sort of usual suspect ones that we find at the thrift store all the time, but those were I think like 50 cents. Give Yourself Goosebumps. And this is great, in really good shape too. You don't see these very often. Nickelodeon, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Tale of the Sinister Statues. So, yeah, an actual 90s Are You Afraid of the Dark. You don't find a lot of those from the old Nickelodeon shows. And a couple of sci-fi books, one for the store, two for us. We have Coco Takes a Holiday. This is like a really cool cover. It was like it's Titan books and looks like something interesting. Grab that. And two Star Trek books. Every time you go to these library book sales, I think we always mention how, oh man, the days when you used to go and like leave Star Trek books there because you always saw them everywhere, and you pull out entire boxes and there were like 40 TOS books in there, and now you go to book sales and lament the fact that you find one or two. They are gone. Star Trek books, or at least around here, any of the big library book sales, they're just non-existent anymore. It used to be 10, 15 years ago. They were everywhere. Now, forget it. But we have two from the New Frontier series, which is great because that's one of those that we don't have a whole lot from. We don't have either of these. We don't... I forget how many of the New Frontier they made, but I think we only have maybe 4 or 5 total from that. So that's really, really cool. Excellent. Very, very excited for those. Yeah, that was a heck of a morning and not what I was expecting. I go to a library book sale, a fairly local library book sale, and there are certain things that I tend to find and expect to find, and that was not it. But yeah, it actually is going to work in my favor. I think the fact that the facility they rented is nowhere near big enough, because it's going to be well worth to shoot up there early in the morning on Tuesday and do the fill a bag thing. Just bring some cash with me and fill a bunch of bags worth of stuff, because at that price, you can get like kids books for 20, 30, depending on the size of them. It doesn't matter because it's just fill a bag. If you can fit 40 books in that bag, not huge bags, but in $5. So I'm going to check that out and definitely sort through the DVDs and Blu-rays again and see what is left there, because I can't believe this. I mean, just the first ones I grabbed were a whole bunch of these PlayStation 3 games in a row. Crazy deals. And just bizarre. Not what I was expecting at all. So I'm going to now go ahead, check all these out, replace any cases that need to be replaced, clean stuff up, organize, and put up a bunch of games on the store for the weekend. Not what I was expecting, but that's great, especially as we start rolling into the Christmas holidays. Good to have games up.